Today's podcast is brought to you by Squarespace. Whether you need a domain, website, or online store, make your next move with Squarespace.
This episode's also brought to you by DraftKings, so you can use promo code COX to play in DraftKings free contest with $100,000 in total prizes this Sunday. That's promo code COX, C-O-X.
Hello, everybody, it's time for Cox and Crendor.
Cox and Crendor in the morning.
In the morning. Broadcasting live. Before our recording studio audience. Recording. Wake your ass up, it's up next Crendor in the morning. Hello, everybody, welcome to Cox and Crendor in the morning.
Hello.
I am so sunburnt. I am red. I am charred. I am like bacon. I must smell delicious. Why'd I go out? Because I was like, well, you know what? I'm going to take some me time. I'm going to go to Disney, and I'm going to go to the San Diego Zoo, and I'm just going to like chill and relax and have a good time. Plus, it was like an office getaway because I had two birthdays. There were two birthdays in the office today.
Mamma mia. 2 birthdays. That's more than one.
I know. So it was a fun getaway. Yeah, it turns out 4 days out in the sun is 4 days too many. I am red. That's even with sunscreen. It still got me. It still beat me.
Hold on. Math isn't adding up. Okay. See, one's a zoo, one's a Disney. Where's the other two?
Well, no. So I went to Disney 2 days.
Oh, okay.
I did 2 days at Disney, and then I had 1 day of just like relaxing and not doing anything, but that involved like driving around and like, not doing much.
Yeah.
And then I went to the zoo in San Diego, and that was super fun. Didn't see any animals doing crazy stuff. Most of the animals were like, oh my God, it's so hot.
Yeah.
Every single one of them had that look on their face that was like, oh, this isn't, oh man, I ain't gonna move for these people, let me tell you.
Classic animals.
Yeah, they were. Those goofy pictures where it shows the animals and they are sitting like people and they look like worn out? That was every single animal. Every single animal looked like that. They were just like, oh, not today, kids.
Spray me down with the hose.
One of my favorite bits is I was by the giraffes and this woman was telling her son, like, oh, it's like Shakira in the movie, Shakira. Now, 1, giraffes look nothing like Shakira. 2, I believe she was talking about Zootopia, but Shakira in Zootopia was a gazelle. So either way, I was angry at this mother. I was not pleased. I gave her this death glare like, lady, you're lying to your kid right now.
You're wrong on multiple fronts.
I don't even know what to tell you right now, but you are wrong.
What did the kid do? Is he just sad? Like,
no, the kid was just like, what is that, Mom? She's like, that's Shakira. I was like, what?
This gets older. He's like, look, a wild Shakira.
Shakira.
Man,
he sees the giraffe and he's like, those hips don't lie.
Have you ever seen a Shakira in the wild? What's wrong? What's wrong with him? Dude, she's like 40. She still looks like she's like in her early 20s.
I'm telling you, Shakira's hot.
Those hips
also,
always tell the truth.
I like Spanish Shakira more than I like English Shakira.
Oh, yeah. Everybody does.
Spanish Shakira, when she sings in Spanish, you're like, ooh, damn. When she sings in English, she's like, it's like, what? What is that?
And I'm moving.
Yeah, I don't like her English singing voice.
Yeah.
That's just me. So yeah, I got all burnt up and went around the zoo. But I will say, because I know you'll know this, at Disney, they changed out the Tower of Terror. Remember when we went on that?
Oh, yeah, I remember.
They changed it, so now it's Guardians of the Galaxy. And apparently, there are 6 different versions of the ride. Because when you get in, Rocket plugs in the cassette player and it plays songs from the movies, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the one we got was Jackson 5 Want You Back, which was great. It was super fun. But the way it does it is every song changes the ride. So you go up and down and drop based on the beat of the song.
Oh, that's cool.
It was super cool. And then you get different scenes. So each ride is a different adventure and a different way they escape. And so it was terrifying. I loved every minute of it. For those of you who have never done Tower of Terror, or I guess in this case, the Guardians Escape Fantasy or whatever the hell it's called. Basically, you get strapped in, and then it takes you up 2 floors and drops you, or takes you up 3 floors and drops you, or takes you all the way up to the top and then drops you, or it makes you go up and down really fast, or just does whatever. You literally are either free falling, or you're going up so fast that you like, I can't even describe it. Thank God there's seatbelts. You feel like you're about to fly off into the ether. It's the best ride. It's so much fun.
The thing is, all those rides, that's why I like Disney, because at Disney, the rides are like an experience or like an adventure or whatever. But like other rides, like Six Flags or any of those types of places, just a ride. Like, here's a roller coaster, ride it. I don't like that. I like the
Disney
adventure.
Disney doesn't do any of the like. I think there might be one roller coaster in all of Disneyland where it's like you go up and then go down a big hill. Most of it is you go up and then you sort of wind your way down, or you are like in the Indiana Jones ride where it jerks you around a lot, and then sort of takes you into this big mouth. It's like blah blah blah, and there's like background stuff, and then you have to outrun a boulder and stuff like that. Or it's like Pirates of the Caribbean where it just does a little drop at the beginning, and then it's like, and now for pirates.
Yeah, or that the Cars ride where you're like, you like race
the
the other
Cars ride
people.
was awesome. Yeah, we're at the beginning. It's sort of like a driving around, having some fun, and then the last half of it is a race against another car.
Yeah,
that thing's cool as shit. Yeah, that was fun.
My favorite ride is the hang glider, because I don't really do anything. You're just up high as the big screen, and they like spray smells at you.
I went on that. It's the exact same thing.
Yes.
Patrick Warburton still does the intro. And he's like, I'm your flight attendant. That's my Patrick Warburton voice. I'm your flight attendant.
Get ready. I'm going to be your flight attendant today.
That's way better than mine.
Here we go.
Yep, that's it.
Here's the plains of Africa. But they spray smells at you, and it's great.
It's great. Yeah, it's so cool. They and then when you go over the Antarctic, it's kind of chillier in the room, and yeah it's super cool. I want
a room like that, just like a room where you can change. It'll be like that one book where the one where there's the kids. They have the room that like changes and shit. That's like the old sci-fi thing. And then
what book is that?
What was it called? It's
the old sci-fi thing.
So you'll probably know what it is when I talk about it. It's this book where these kids have a room. They're like really rich in the future, and they always spend all their time in the room, kind of like damn kids with their video games. But this is like back in the 60s or whatever. And so the kids like grow super attached to it, and they're like, you're banned from the room. And so they set up a savannah in the room with lions and stuff, and they trap their parents in the room, and like the lions are real and they kill the parents.
I don't know what this is, and I literally just typed into Google, kids in a room create savannah in a room.
It's Ray Bradbury.
What is the name? Ray Bradbury?
Ray Bradbury. You've never heard of Ray Bradbury?
Books.
I thought you were a teacher.
I don't know what this book is. It's not the Martian Chronicles. I know what the Martian Chronicles are.
It's this one with this guy.
And it's not
he has a bunch
Fahrenheit
of tattoos.
451, because I know what that is.
Tattoo story. What's this one? It's got to be the tattoo one, right? The Illustrated Man. That's what it's called.
The Illustrated Man? Oh.
Yeah.
Interesting. Is it a short story? Collection of 18 science fiction stories? Ah, interesting.
So it's parents in a futuristic society worry about their children's mental health when their new virtual reality nursery, which can produce any environment the children imagine, continually project African veldt population by lions feasting on carcasses. A child psychologist suggests that the automated house is not good for the children's development and insists they disable the automation and take a vacation to become more self-sufficient. Children are not pleased with this decision, but later agree to it. They then trap their parents in the nursery where they become prey to the lions. They later have lunch on the veldt with the child psychologist who sees the lions feasting but does not recognize that that's what happened.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I gotta read some of this. I'm reading some of the descriptions of these short stories. They actually seem really interesting.
Yeah, it was really good. As I saw it at the library, and I was like, oh, this is Ray Bradbury. And then I just ended up reading all of it, and I was like, it was really good. And I liked it. And I remember they did that on The Simpsons. They like parodied it. like on one episode.
Yeah, The Martian Chronicles, that book, which is short stories, has been parodied a ton. Like that has been they've done that a lot.
Yeah.
I'm in. All right, that might be like a next time on the podcast I report back kind of deal.
Yeah,
all right, that's pretty cool.
all right.
Yeah, how did we even get on that? What
I don't know.
What are we talking about that got us there?
Wait, yeah, what were we talking? Lions. Oh yeah, I said I wanted a room that could like change.
That is like the flying one. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I still want that though.
Speaking of things I want, I desperately want to see the new Nic Cage film. Apparently at the Toronto Film Festival, they debuted it. It's called Mom and Dad.
Mom and Dad.
And apparently, from the word of everyone who was there, it is nuts. It is nutso. This is a quote from a guy in the audience about to watch a movie where Nic Cage goes nuts and tries to kill his children, which is the Nic Cageiest premise since Face Off. Then Nic Cage, likely drunk, showed up to the Mom and Dad premiere. Then the director introduced the film by saying, this movie has mental problems. If you're seeing it, then you also have mental problems.
Oh my God.
Then the same guy who said Nic Cage goes full Nic Cage in this movie reported back afterwards and he says, when I said he goes full Nic Cage, I meant full Cage. He sings the hokey pokey while destroying a pool table with a sledgehammer. We need to see this movie.
We need to see this. When's it come out? Where is it? How do we see it?
I don't know. This is another review. It's one part The Crazies, one part Freddy Krueger. I loved it. What does that mean?
There's even a cameo for Dr. Oz who compares the plague to the ethological practice of savaging.
This is incredible. Best part is in this movie, Nic Cage is married to Selma Blair, I guess, because that's a thing.
Right.
And here's another line. Mom and Dad is the new standard for cage rage. Quote, this is Nic Cage in the movie laughing like a loon. He says, I was 100% sex.
What?
Apparently Nic Cage, while watching the screening, was laughing the entire time.
I can imagine. It's like he's got mental issues, apparently.
I can't believe that. I wish I lived in Toronto. I would have gone to. People are like showing the ticket stubs they got where they went to go see this. I would love to have gone.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I would have loved to have gone.
It's gotta be. Let's see. Come on. Where do you see it? Where do you see
Mom
it?
and Dad, Nic Cage.
Release date. It says September 9th.
But that's already happened.
I know.
I'm reading this review, and this guy is basically saying that it is incredible. If you're a Nic Cage fan, you have to see this. It's like a twisted remake of Home Alone on bath salts. And in this version, the wet bandits might actually kill Macaulay Culkin. And the director might actually make us watch. That's because the director previously one half of a bunch of stuff I don't care. Oh, they're the guys who made Gamer and Crank, the Crank films. No wonder. Oh, I bet it's wacky as hell. Mom and Dad isn't particularly graphic in terms of violence, but it's full of truly horrifying scenes and visuals. Thanks to Cage, it's also impossibly funny. I can't. Okay, sure. Given a juicy part and the freedom to do what he wants, he embraces Brent's madness and obvious glee. He screams, he howls, he glares, he cackles, he curses, and without ever trying to match his Cage-nicity, Selma Blair does a heroic job sharing the screen with him when he does it. Before the real insanity starts, she also has several lovely scenes wrestling with how our society treats homemakers. I would gladly watch a whole series of movies with these two actors trying to murder their children. I can't, like this, I want to see this movie so bad. 8 out of 10 this got.
8 out of 10.
8 out of 10.
Oh my God. This has got. Where do we see it? I just want to watch it.
I don't think it's ever going to come out in theaters.
If it's where is it online? I got to.
Mom and Dad movie release. Someone get us Nic Cage. Get Nic Cage on the line.
Somebody.
Who is the company that made this? What is the film production company?
The
production company that made this movie, filmed in Louisville, Kentucky. Oh my God.
Wait, Mom and Dad. Oh, release date. USA, September 24th. At Fanatic. Okay. Wait, Fantastic Fest? That's not. Does that just mean like it's coming out at Fantastic Fest, then it's available online or something? It's gotta be.
Maybe. I have no clue.
It's gotta be.
Man, I just want to watch this movie.
I do too.
Does anyone know Selma Blair? I know no one out there listening knows Nic Cage, because if you did, we'd already know Nic Cage. But does anyone know Selma Blair or Brian Taylor, the director, or Christopher Lemmel or Tim Zaros, the
Lorena
two producers?
Diaz, Teresa Cook, Bishop Steve.
I'm an executive producer now, y'all. I feel like I should be having in on this. Can we get a copy sent to us so we can watch this movie?
We need to see this movie.
Well, I need to see this movie. It looks so good. All right. Well, I want it. I want it so badly. You have no clue.
Hashtag same.
Hashtag huge Nic Cage fan. Hashtag I wish Nic Cage would be my friend. Is all I'm saying. I feel like the best way to get Nic Cage to be my friend, creating a Nic Cage Be My Friend website.
Whoa, that's a great idea.
You can do it if you use Squarespace. I'm letting you know right now. Squarespace is the best. My own website's on there. I'm just going to put this out there. If anyone wants to make a website called Nic Cage, call jessecox.com/please. I would love that to happen. I think it would be easy with the 16 new beautiful award-winning designer templates that have launched this summer. I'm telling you, it just got even easier to make that website for me. I think this could work, guys. I think it could happen.
And if you create this website, tweet it to us, or any of the other ones we mentioned. Naming people, tweet them to us.
Please tweet them to us. We'd love to see them. It's so easy. Squarespace is an all-in-one platform. There's nothing to install or patch or upgrade. 24/7 customer support. You can transfer domains. So if you have NicCageLoveJesse.com/please or whatever the hell the website was, and then you want to transfer it over to Squarespace, you can do that. It's fine. And then if you want to, if it happens and Nic Cage does call me, then you can sell stuff on the website, like shirts that say "It happened," and then Nic Cage and my face together. And that can happen too. Then you can sell shirts there. I'll allow it. So
Mamma mia.
I'd say start your free trial today at squarespace.com. Go to squarespace.com/Cox and Crendor and Crendor. And please, by all means, you'll get 10% off your first purchase. We would love to see the crazy websites you guys come up with. Please tweet them at us. And I will simply say, Nic Cage, wherever you're at, hook us up with a copy of this video, dude. I want to see it.
Maybe there'll be a dinosaur head in it for you.
You think there's just going to be a dinosaur head in it, and that's why?
I'll just draw one on paper. Don't tell him.
What?
It's be like, hey, we got a dinosaur head for you if you help us out. And he'll be like, okay. And then I'll be like, all right, it's in the mail. And then he'll just get a sheet of paper with a dinosaur head on it. And he'll be like, Crendor.
So we're the ones plotting to give him a dinosaur head, but also revealing that we're going to not give him a real head.
Yeah, but don't tell him that.
But I want him to be my friend. I don't want to piss off Nic Cage.
Well, I don't know. He likes dinosaur heads.
All right, sure. Yep, sure.
That's all I'm saying.
I just remembered some crazy shit. You ready for this?
I'm ready.
So yesterday, I was eating ramen, went out to dinner, was eating some ramen, and the table next to me, I love LA. I love the little snippets of life I get. The table next to me was this girl staring at her phone, and this guy who, I'm not going to say looked awkward, but he gave off a very awkward vibe. And so I kept trying to pay attention to what was going on with them because I couldn't tell if this was a couple that sort of was just, they've been out a lot together. So they're just like, I'm on my phone, and he's like eating his ramen or whatever. But it soon dawned on me that this was definitely a first date. And it was awkward because at the end they both paid separately, and then they sat there and she like he kept trying to talk with her and say stuff like, so do you want to go out again? Or stuff like that.
Yeah.
And it got to the point where, let me just describe this scene to you, because I felt bad. Like, I felt genuinely bad. So the guy is sitting there sort of like playing with what's left over ramen, and this girl's looking at her phone. She's just staring at the phone. And the guy goes, something came on the radio in this place, and I think it was like from the year 1988. And he's like, oh, I was born in 1988. And she's looking down at her phone. She goes, yep, I was born then too. And he's like, yeah. And then just stares at her, and then the song comes on, and the song's like, baby, I love you, or some bullshit. And he starts singing it to her.
God.
But he's like off key a little bit, and he's like, I love you, don't you know? And she's just staring at her phone. Doesn't even acknowledge it. Just stares at her phone. And then he keeps singing these lyrics. It must have been the longest 30 seconds of my life. And then she responds by looking up at him from the phone and goes, boy, I sure hope that hurricane misses Miami. And then here's the weird thing. They both got up, and she waited for him to leave. And I was like, oh, maybe they are a couple. And that was just really weird. And like, they got up and walked out together. I don't know what I saw. I don't know what I witnessed, because it seemed like it was a date that had gone poorly. But at the same time, it seemed like maybe they had known each other for a while, so maybe they were just friends. But then it also seemed like, why would this woman be a friend with that guy if she literally does not want to talk to him?
Well,
I had so many unanswered questions. I watched some shit go down that made no sense.
So hold on. All right. So the first thing you noticed that happened was it him mentioning the radio.
Yeah. He mentioned that it was like, that's when I started paying attention, because it just seemed like an awkward when he's like, I was born in 1988. And she was like, yeah, I was born then too. Right? And I was like, whoa, my crazy radar is about to tune in. So I started paying attention to what they were doing at that point. And he was sort of messing with his ramen at the time. And they already had their checks on the table, 2 separate checks. And I was like, okay, well, maybe they're just like friends. But then I started listening to the way they were talking, and he started saying like, I love you, and like singing to her. And I was like, oh, maybe they're more than just friends, but maybe this is like a first date, because she doesn't seem too interested in this guy.
Yeah.
But then when they got up to leave, like, she waited for him, and I don't want to say they held hands, but they were very close on the, like, walking out together. And I was like, what just happened here? I was like, and more importantly, if they're a couple, boy, are they an awkward couple, because that was a weird conversation. He was singing this song and talking about how much he loved this girl, and she was just not at all acknowledging him.
Well, here's the thing. If someone started doing that, so it's like singing some song on the radio for like 30 seconds, I'd be like, dude, what are you doing?
That's what I'm saying. I was that guy. I just didn't say anything. I was like, oof, bro, no, don't do this. Don't do this. And he just kept going. And I don't remember what song it was, but it was definitely like one of this, like a standard, like a ballad of some sort, like, baby, I love you, like that kind of stuff. And he was singing it, and she just was looking at her phone, and her only response, I wrote it down verbatim, was, boy, I sure hope that hurricane misses Miami. That's what she said.
And then the hurricane started being like, I miss you, Miami.
Yeah, then she was like, that hurricane's hot.
She was so hot too.
She was so uninterested in this guy, and he just, I don't know. I thought, boy, that was awkward. I can't wait to see when they leave and how they leave together. And rather than like her walking out or being like, well, this was a terrible decision or whatever, or no, I don't think I was waiting for something to happen. Instead, she stands up and waits. He stands up, and they walk out like together, almost holding hands. And I couldn't figure out what happened. My assumption is maybe they're a couple and they just are very weird.
That's true.
Like there's possibility. There have been many couples I've known who show no, I don't want to say emotion. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what it was, but affection maybe. Yeah, it was very strange. It was very strange.
It doesn't have to even be affection. It's just like normal, just like talking,
absolutely,
conversation ability.
Acknowledging the other person, right? Because it definitely seemed like one of those things where she realized it wasn't going well, but she had no out. So she was just trying to ride this roller coaster. And then she was like, well, dinner's done. I'm going to get out of here. But rather than being like, thanks for a good time, I'll see you later, bye, and leaving, she waited for this guy, and then they left together. And that blew my mind. It blew everything I thought was turned on its head.
Maybe that was her ride.
Maybe you know what? You could be right. Maybe she needed him. But I would assume, this is just me, I would never want to go on a first date where I drove.
Yeah.
The person there, because if it sucked, God, do I not want to have to drive that person home? That's the awkward, worst drive home. Like, so I guess we're never going to talk to each other again, huh? Okay, well, good luck with your life. Like, what a terrible drive home that would be.
that would be really awkward. It'd almost be as awkward as, just singing a ballad for a minute.
Oh, baby. It was amazing. I thought that maybe she would giggle or laugh or respond in some way, but she just stared at that phone and was not interested, which again weirds me out. I don't understand. Because he even kept trying to prod her. He would sing it to her a little bit and then say right, baby, right? And she would just stare at the phone.
Oh God, that's even more awkward.
Right? Because he kept saying I love you, which again, that was the first date. That's creepy as shit.
Yeah.
But I couldn't put this together. I couldn't square it. It was crazy.
All right. We gotta all right. So if he's doing that, that means it's either really weird first date, they're together for a while, but they're just no emotion, just kind of awkward, or I have no idea.
I mean, my assumption was maybe they are friends. But I would assume a friend
say that.
Yeah, I know. I am aware. I understand. Maybe they're just friends and he's saying that because maybe he's trying to get that. But God, I don't know. I don't know.
That's the only other possibility. It's it's got to be one of the three.
It was awkward. And I couldn't help but stare. I was just out of the corner of my eye watching the whole thing go down. I was like, drama.
I haven't had many of those people out in public. I've just seen a lot of old people. The other day had breakfast. And I love breakfast because there's a lot of old people. It's more so brunch. The old people love brunch. And so I was sitting there, this group of 5 old women. And I always notice there's the stereotypes of the old women, right? You got the one who talks a lot. She's the leader of the group. Then there's the one who just quietly listens, just I'm happy to have friends. And then there's the one that only talks about their kids and their grandkids. It's they'll bring up a thing, be like, Stephanie does that too. Stephanie does it too. She's my grandchild. She goes to high school. She goes to this high school. And they just only talk about their grandchildren. Then there's the one that laughs, that has that old person laugh, it's that.
Are you just at the international buffet of old people? There's one of everyone there apparently.
This is every breakfast place I go to. There's always this group of at least 4 old women, and they have these same traits every time. Even the other breakfast place I was eating there, and that was when the one lady was like, my granddaughter's down there, and she had this guy from the Weather Channel there, and we met him, and he was very nice. And then my daughter Rachel, and the other lady was like, yes, very, yep. I'm telling you, they're great. I love listening to them.
I like listening to old people in general. I would love a service where you could call a phone number, and it would just patch you into an old people conversation.
Yeah.
And you could just sit there and listen because, boy, do they have things to say about everything.
Because they just don't care. They just say what they're saying. They don't care who's around. It's just they're just going to talk. And that's why that one lady, oh my God, I don't remember if I did bring this up. It was years ago. I was eating breakfast a year ago. And this old lady was just if you eat an almond a day, Dr. Oz said you won't get cancer. And I was like,
if Dr. Oz says it, Dr. Oz is in a Nic Cage movie. If he says it, it must be true.
That's true. And I was like, how do you even, like an almond a day? Like one almond, like not even a handful of almonds, just one almond. And it blew my mind. I was like, how's that even work? How do I know it's not true? She could be right.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. What's the downside? If you eat one almond a day, that's not a lot of almond you have to buy.
Yeah.
That's a pretty cheap, even if it doesn't work, it's still pretty cheap. It's a cheap try.
Yeah. And everybody says
that's why grandmas are always right. Always.
Yeah.
What's the worst that could happen? You have a little almond stuck in your tooth, maybe. That's it.
Yeah. Maybe we should try the almond diet.
One almond a day?
one almond a day.
I'm down. That's a diet plan I can get behind.
Yeah, old people breakfast. Great.
Yeah, old people get
way
breakfast,
better
man.
than. When did this happen? This like the afternoon?
Oh, this was nighttime. This was a bunch of hipsters eating ramen.
Oh, yeah. This is old people breakfast. I'll take it any day over the hipster nights.
Well, all right. Speaking of days, this is a transition. Let's go to Top Competitive. You fuck. With Crendor in the sky. How's that traffic out there?
You all right back there?
No.
You know, okay, well, up here, it's really cloudy. A lot of clouds. You wouldn't think we're in the sky or something. Oh, wait, we are. Whoa. Oh, boy, looking down at that traffic. Looks like a lot of people are getting off their path to go to things they want to go to. They're getting ready to go to hipster ramen. They're eating their breakfasts. They're doing a whole bunch of stuff down there. And you know what? You gotta keep busy. You gotta do stuff. You gotta go outside. You gotta get that sunburn. Well, probably not the sunburn part. That's probably not healthy. But I don't know. Just get outside while it's still pretty nice out there. Back to you.
Thanks, Crendor. Now let's go over to Crendor at the weather desk. Crendor, how's the weather?
Weather is looking interesting. Let's see. Whoppy activated. 94542. Hayward, California.
Okay.
Hayward, California. 89 degrees Fahrenheit. Partly cloudy. Feels like 89 degrees Fahrenheit. High 67. Low 67. UV index 3 of 10. Tonight. Rain. Early. Low 67, 40%. Tuesday, 82. Tuesday night, 64. Rain, thunderstorms.
I feel like the high and the low being the exact same number is not accurate. How's that possible?
It's only like a 78% accuracy.
High 67, low 67. Well, that just seems like it shouldn't be.
Well,
that's
Whoppy,
very accurate. Whoppy is very accurate today.
He could be very accurate. He does have his margins of error, but
that is a huge margin of error. I believe that is a 100% margin of error. I don't believe that to be true. I don't think your high can be the same as your low. It doesn't. That's not. And over the course of a day, that's not how temperature works. I'm just saying, get that guy a tune-up. It doesn't make sense.
Well, I mean, I'll get him checked. I'll tune him up. But I mean, that's what he says. That's what he says. That's what he
says. It's what it says. There you go. That's the weather. That's what he says. That's what he says.
Is there anywhere in the world where it was to be like the same temperature the entire day?
No, that's not how it works because the sun, a day is 24 hours.
What about
at
a place?
5 a.m., the temperature is going to be a lot cooler than it is at noon, for example.
What about a place where there's not a lot of sun?
Even then, just the heat, even if there's not a lot of sun, darkness will still be cooler than a bright day.
What if they have weird weather things going on, like the coyotes gather and warm the temperature by like 2 degrees to keep it that way?
I mean, if that's what coyotes do, if that's the big reveal about coyotes and that's what their purpose is, I'm all for that. But I don't think that's true.
All I'm saying is there might be some crazy shit going on.
I'm not saying it's not happening. I'm just saying it could.
Yeah, like almonds.
All right. Okay, look, I'm not going to... the science is still out. The science is still out on it.
Yeah.
We don't know if coyotes change the weather or not. Science is still out.
We'll probably figure it out in the next 10 years or so.
Yeah. 10, 15 years. We need more studies on it.
Yeah. Please fund us. Coyote Science, patreon.com.
Yep. Okay, well then let's go to the sports desk.
Sports. Welcome to the sports desk. How you doing today, everybody? How's it going? Having fun? You having fun? I'm having fun because football's back. Football is back. NFL's happening. Crazy stuff going down. New England lost in their first
hooray!
week. Buffalo won, but it was against the Jets, who are probably the worst team in the NFL. The Bears almost beat Atlanta, but they're bad, and then they didn't. Cincinnati got shut out at home against Baltimore 20-0.
Ooh, the nasty natty, still nasty.
Pittsburgh beat Cleveland 21-18, but Cleveland actually looked better. They could probably pass up Cincinnati this year. Good for you, Cleveland.
So ruthless. So ruthless.
Still terrible for Ohio.
As a person who lived in Ohio but was a Steelers fan for his life for almost a good 20 years, let me just say, I feel bad that Ohio, the way they get through stuff is by going like, go Buckeyes.
Yeah.
College is all they got. If you're a Steelers fan, or if you're a Bengals fan or Browns fan, I feel for you. Because every year they have like, maybe this is it. Maybe they got their shit together. And every year they're a letdown.
It's true. Cleveland just always, they know they're going to let you down on purpose. They're just like, yep, we're Cleveland. And then Cincinnati's like, hey, we made the playoffs again. Then they lose.
Yep.
That's what they do. Detroit beat Arizona. Go to Detroit right now. Don't go Detroit. They're in my division. Jacksonville beat Houston. That's kind of crazy. Oakland beat Tennessee. They're both getting pretty good. Philadelphia beat Washington. LA beat the Colts.
Yes, everyone in LA was losing their mind. Like, all right, maybe we'll be good this year. And it's like,
as a experienced NFL statistics veteran that plays Madden every year, let me assure you that that's not going to happen.
I don't think it will either, but I've had a lot of fun conversations with fans that are just like, oh, this is our year, baby. LA's back. It's like,
the Colts are possibly the worst team in the American Football Conference. Their defense is terrible. They have so many injuries. Andrew Luck didn't play, so they had a backup quarterback that was a third stringer on Green Bay that we cut like 2 years ago.
You know everything.
Scott Tolzien, man.
Damn, this is that Madden info.
Jacoby Brissett, they put him in. Brissett's not even ready with the offense. He got traded a week ago from New England. All right? He's not even ready. And that's the only thing he can do is score the 50-yard touchdown in garbage time where they're not even caring anymore. Also, Jared Goff's not be that great. He's going to be okay.
Oh, my God.
So let me just bring you back to earth a little bit.
Gotcha. Yeah. Understandable.
Damn. So, Green Bay won. Go Green Bay. We beat Seattle. That was good. So we're 1-0. Very happy with that. Aaron Rodgers, very strong, powerful player, best quarterback in the league. Carolina beat San Francisco, and Dallas beat the Giants. Giants look terrible as well. Eli Manning is now he's old. He's not good anymore.
God, he got old quick. Wasn't he like the young brother? How did he get old?
He was the young brother. However, he's kind of just always played. And Peyton's kind of taken the spotlight. Like Eli Manning, how old is he? He's 36 now, and I think he's been in the league like 15 years or something.
My God.
Been a long time. He got drafted in 2004. So yeah, 13, 14 years.
Maybe I'm the old one now. No, it can't be true. It's Eli Manning.
It's the children that are wrong.
Oh, man. Well,
yeah. Football.
I will simply say that if you are as up on the foosball as my dear friend Crendor here,
that's me.
There should be nothing stopping you from going to DraftKings.com because week 1 is in the books, people, as you heard, and it's never too late to get closer to the game you love than by going to DraftKings for its 1-week fantasy football this Sunday. $100,000 pick'em contest, totally free to enter.
Now, I will say I played in the $1 billion one, and it was a free entry, and I won $3. And I'm very happy because that was $3 I didn't have, and now I get to play with it.
How did you win $3? What was your $3 win?
Well, it was a free entry, and then as long as you placed in the thingy, you won. So if you like got first place or whatever, you won a lot. But I didn't do that. But I was good enough to get $3, and that's going to let me enter into a thingy. So
I want to know what $3 good enough is. I'm going to have to enter this week so I can see.
I want to know what $3 good enough is.
I want to know what $3 good enough is. Apparently, Pick'em is this new way to play. You can draft your teams even faster, which is crazy to me. So I can't wait to see what that's about. There are 8 tiers, and all you have to do is select one player from each tier, I guess is the idea. And God, that sounds awesome. And then you can choose between public contests for big cash prizes or private contests with your friends. You can do beginner or casual. The best part is you get to draft a new team each week without any commitment. Yeah, I love the idea of it sort of having tiers of players that you pick one from each, and that's super fast. Also, I think it kind of makes it easier for idiots like me who's like, I didn't read stats. So oh my God, I might get my $3, baby.
Yeah, get your $3. I put it in. I was like, you know what? I need a cheap tight end this week. So I went with Austin Hooper. I knew he was playing the Bears. I knew the Bears secondary sucked. It's just a bunch of mediocre to old veterans that are just in there. They can't cover a tight end. Boom. Second half hit. He had like an 80-yard touchdown. I was like, there it is. $3 coming in.
That's beautiful. So get to DraftKings.com now and use promo code Cox to play DraftKings free in this contest for $100,000 this Sunday. That's promo code Cox to compete for $100K. Totally free to enter. Give it a try. It's a game inside the game. Eligibility restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com for the deets. Okay, let's get to our big news story of the day.
Big news story of the day. Big news story of the day. Woo, woo.
Is that just you stalling for time till you find the news story of the day?
No. I wasn't even looking. Now I need to look. That was just me singing for no reason.
Well, I have a news story for you before we get into yours.
Okay.
This was linked to me today on Twitter. And it's not even the real headline. This is just what the link says.
Right.
Sex robots will eventually be capable of murder.
What?
So, of course, I was like, well, I have to click the link.
Oh, Jesus, it's going to be.
And the photo is literally a man flexing, like hard flexing while holding a robotic woman's face. And then you click the link, and then the link takes you to the article, which then has a sex doll from truecompanion.com. We're going to give them a plug because I want people to go there and look. I'm not going there. And like it's like a doll laying on a couch, and it looks terribly unsexy or unhuman-like.
Yeah.
It says, hackers could program sex robots to kill. This is posted in the New York Post, so I don't take any of this with a grain of sand because it also comes from The Sun, which from all of my UK friends are like, that's a tabloid. It's gross.
Yeah.
But here's the article. I trust it anyway because you never know with sex robots.
Right.
A cybersecurity scientist has issued a bizarre warning that sex robots could one day rise up and kill their owners.
It's Westworld.
If hackers can get inside their heads. Last month, tech billionaire Elon Musk claimed that artificial intelligence could take over the planet, and he's not the only one concerned about the dangers of killer tech. With robots becoming increasingly popular and sophisticated, cybersecurity lecturer Dr. Nic Patterson revealed that the lifelike dolls could end up going all Terminator on us. You know he's a scientist when he's used. They're going to go Terminator, those robots. I like how they had to say cybersecurity lecturer. It's just a guy. Just a guy named Dr. Who is Doc? Will you look up who Dr. Nic Patterson is?
Dr. Nic Patterson. Dr. Nic Patterson.
However, in the case of sex robots, the danger isn't the love dolls will end up developing minds of their own, Westworld style. Instead, the risk is that hackers could breach the realistic robots' inner defenses and catch their owners with their pants down. Barf.
Wait, pause, time out. So, Dr. Nic Patterson is either a deep chiropractic massage person or a PhD computational biologist in the medical and population genetics program at MIT at Harvard.
I don't know if that... I'm going to look this up because there's a link to another article where the Daily Star is told by this Dr. Nic Patterson
Cybersecurity lecturer, Dr. Nick Patterson.
What the hell? All right. This on the dailystar.co.uk.
Mm-hmm.
Sex robot armies. Fears hackers could create killer cyborgs and turn technology on punters. I don't know. I guess that's British slang. I don't know what that means.
Oh, here he is.
The sex robot craze has swept the globe. Pause. Time. What year was this article written? Because I don't see no sex robots anywhere.
They're sweeping the globe.
Sweeping the globe.
This is one of those things like everybody's doing it, and it's like I don't see anyone. I mean, maybe they're in maybe they're in the houses. Nobody wants to talk about it. I don't know. Maybe they're ashamed.
I can't even.
Here, Nicholas Patterson, PhD, professional academic at Deakin University, Melbourne, Australia. That's him.
All right. I'm looking at all these sex bots, and I'm saying to myself two things. One,
right.
They look very expensive. Two, where would you store a sex bot? And how do you explain that to people who then come over to your house? Like, yes, this is my sex bot. Like, this is a lot of questions.
Well, would you keep your sex bot on the couch when people come over?
I'm just saying, you can never, once you buy a sex bot, you can never have sex with a real person again, because that shit would just, like,
I feel
people would become like, someone would be at your house, and eventually someone would discover you'd live a paranoid lifestyle of like, don't go in that closet. There's a weird sex bot, and don't go in that closet.
Someone like goes to the bathroom, like, I wonder what kind of towels they have. They open it, just the sex bot thing falls out, and they're like,
help me. I'm just saying it would be impossible. You couldn't bring anyone over because people would just immediately, you would always think people were trying to find your sex bot.
Maybe they hide it under the bed.
Also, none of these sex bots look like they look like you are trying to bang a plastic figure, and none of that's sexy.
Yeah. Like the only time it looks somewhat real is if it's like a picture of like the body and they like have it like looking a certain way.
Right, but that's clearly they spent 45 minutes posing that sex doll.
Yeah, and photoshopping it and shit.
Even that's not a sex doll, or a sex bot, that's a sex doll. They're saying that these are sex bots, which is not true.
Yeah, when I think sex bot, I think like Westworld.
When I think sex bot, I think like chrome heavy metal sexy ladies with like pointy nipples. Now that's hot. Like Star Wars, like C-3PO, but like with tits. Now that's hot.
You just want like the Jetsons, whatever the shit it was, but the robot maid's a sex
Rosie
bot.
The maid?
Yeah, you want. That sounds like what you
Mr.
want.
J.
Rosie, but a sex bot, Rosie.
Yeah, you know, like C-3PO, but a sex bot C-3PO. You know,
I don't know.
Sexy C-3PO. You know what I'm saying, right? Oh my, Master Luke. Exactly.
Listen, I'm telling you, I guarantee there's some like, what's it called, Rule 34 or whatever of Rosie the Jetson bot.
Oh, please, of course there is. We don't even need to look that up. I know that's true.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. This guy apparently told the Daily Star Online, hackers can hack into a robot or robotic device and have full control over the connections, arms, legs, and other tools, like in some cases even knives or wielding devices. Often, these robots can be up to 200 pounds and very strong. Once a robot is hacked, the hacker has full control and can issue instructions to the robot. All right, 1. Unless your sex bot is connected to the internet.
I am harnessing my knowledge from the cloud.
That is a giant leap. Like, yeah, I bought this new sex bot hooked up to the cloud.
Yeah, like nobody's gonna do that. Like, what's it gotta do? Download a patch? Or what do you need? Is it gonna like tell you the news?
Oh my! It's like Alexa. It's basically the Amazon.com version of a sex bot.
It's like stripper Alexa. It's like it's a good like stripper Alexa name.
Alexa? I feel like it's great. That's a great name.
Yeah. And it's just
oh my god!
It forms a relationship with you first. It cares back,
and then it murders you.
Yeah.
It's literally either the hacker has to break in your house and then do it, or you've connected your sex bot to the internet, in which case either of those scenarios is incredibly stupid.
Yeah. Like, why? I still don't get why you want to connect it to the internet. I guess people would like want to mod it or something.
You want to mod your sex doll?
Listen, people want to mod everything.
I guess you're right. Who am I to judge? I'm still mesmerized that this article is saying that sex dolls have been around. Sex dolls. I was about to say sex bots don't exist, first off. But apparently they've been around for 40 years. What does a 40-year-old sex doll look like? And why do I think it'd be the funniest thing on earth?
40-year-old sex doll.
Oh, this is so weird. Of course it's in Japan. And it just looks bizarre.
Oh my God. These are so weird. It just brings up like the TLC show and stuff.
I can't.
Japan.
Oh, Japan. God bless.
Japanese. It's literally just all Japan.
Yeah.
Classic.
All right. So is there anything else about this? Once a robot is hacked, the hacker has full control. Yes, we know. Still doesn't make any sense, or there's no reason for it.
Yeah. I don't get it. I don't know.
This is my favorite quote. The last thing you want is for a hacker to have control over one of these robots. Why? Why is that the last thing I want? If anything, this seems like the least successful version of hurting me by hack. Like it doesn't make sense. Like, you've hacked my sex bot. Awesome. What does he think these robots can do? Because at this point in time, there's no such thing. This is all hypothetical mumbo jumbo. This is incredible. Even the article says, this warning may sound a little far-fetched, but the robots run using an operating system just like a phone or PC. That's not how hacking works!
This may sound crazy, guys, but you know the robots use an operating system? That can kill you. Windows 10 probably can kill you.
Hacking works at all.
Like, what's it? Okay, you hack into it. What are you going to do? Like, you'd be like, robot, stand.
That's what I'm saying.
Robot, look for metallic object. Robot, use thing to beat like, it's not going to do that.
I mean, even then, that
technology.
You have to program you have to reprogram the robot, and the robot then has to be built for the like that aspect of the programming. So, for example, if you tell a robot to punch someone, if the robot's hands are not strong enough to actually physically hurt someone, like if the fingers and everything it wouldn't do any damage. Right? Yeah. What are you telling the robot to do? Robot headbutt someone. I'm pretty sure the robot's head isn't like solid metal, right? It's not. Yeah. This is nonsense.
It's like programming a calculator to like beat up somebody.
It doesn't make any sense.
It's stupid. It's clickbait, and I hate it.
Yeah, I love it. I need more of it. I love it. I want more. I want more of it. I just like how the link was sex robots will eventually be capable of murder. If we're lucky, that's what I'm hoping for. If I can have on my tombstone killed by sex robot, then I will have lived a long life. That's all I want. I want to see a widow and crying children over my grave, and it just say killed by sex robot, and she'd be like, I warned him. I told him not to do it, but he just loved those sex robots. That's it. That's all I want. Well, that implies I have such a wonderful, understanding wife who's like, the man just loved to bang robots.
Listen, maybe there's somebody that's a robot fetish. You don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe you're just being, you're not being considerate.
Oh, are you saying out there's a lady for me with a robot fetish? The two of I. You saying that lady's me, and I'm just gonna fall in love with me, and then we're gonna go and bang robots? I love it.
I mean, don't get your hopes up.
I won't. I'm not.
All right.
Well, what is your news story?
All right. So I have found one that people have sent to us a lot. Woman trapped in window trying to retrieve poo after Tinder date.
Yep, I saw this one. I saw people send this to us. It is the best story. You have to start reading this.
All right. So yeah, I haven't read this at all, so I'm still confused. A woman.
Trust me. You're going to be more confused after reading it because it doesn't make sense.
All right. There's a lot of things today that don't make sense. A woman who threw her poo out of her date's toilet window because it would not flush had to be rescued after she got stuck trying to retrieve it.
Time. Pause.
All right.
Already,
Yeah,
that is illogical. Everything in that sentence does not make sense. That is where we're going with this story. I want you to take a moment and just appreciate where we're going with
Here's
this.
already the questions I've come up with from this. Threw her poo out of her date's toilet window. Why is there a toilet window? A window in the toilet? A window in the bathroom?
The bathroom, yes.
Why is there a window in the bathroom?
Because there's a window in the bathroom. It's a very nice bathroom.
All right. Why is she throwing her poo out of that window? Why?
There's the real question.
Why is she grabbing it anyway?
There's the better question.
Is it would not flush, but like...
All right, just keep going. Just keep going with the story.
Okay. The amateur gymnast was on a first date with Bristol student Liam Smith when she panicked and threw the feces out the window. It did not land in the garden, but became wedged between two non-opening windows.
I like how she was so panicked she didn't notice there was another non-opening window on the other side of the window. She just chucked crap at a window.
Jesus. All right. Well, after climbing in head first after it, she became wedged. Mr. Smith had to call the fire service for help. The story appeared on a crowdfunding page set up by the University of Bristol student. If the story yanks your chain, I don't give a shit. Mr. Smith, who is raising funds to his broken window, wrote that he was on a Tinder date with the woman and they went back to the shared house he lives in. We had a really nice evening. We had a meal at a well-known chicken restaurant, had a few beers, and
Nando's. Sounds like Nando's.
That's a Nando's.
They went to Nando's, and then she took a Nando's shit, and then threw it out a window.
Then they went back for a bottle of wine and a film. So already their beer's in, and they're drinking a bottle of wine.
Yeah,
maybe that's.
Oh, they were gonna bone down. That was a bone down session. Here's what I know to be true.
Mm-hmm.
They were gonna get it on. Girl went to the bathroom. She was like, I got to get my poops out. I don't know what about to happen.
Yeah.
As people do. As people do. You got to get the poops out. I don't know what.
Right, of course.
Gotta get the poops out. I don't know what's gonna happen. That's my life motto. Right, that's defined. I want that on a shirt so badly. Gotta get the poops out. I don't know what's gonna happen.
I mean, you don't know what's gonna happen. You don't want to be anywhere with that problem.
I feel like she had one of those things like, we going back to his place. I got some beers in me, some Nando's. I'm gonna get some wine. We're gonna get freaky tonight. I gotta get the poops out. I don't know how freaky we getting. then the toilet, like it wouldn't flush or something was wrong with the toilet. And so she panicked because she was like, oh God, I don't want the guy I'm gonna bone down with to come in the bathroom to see my big turd.
Yeah, exactly.
Here's my question.
Mm-hmm.
At that point, she had two options. Either one, go out and be like, yo, something's wrong with your toilet. I don't know what's going on. Like, I don't know. Or she could have not said anything and let him think he's in a house with other people, apparently. So maybe she could come out and be like, someone left the grossest shit, and like she could have turned it on him. Be like, I don't know whose that shit is, but there's a shit in there.
Yeah.
Instead, she decided to reach in the toilet, grab the turd, which, by the way, can we just take a moment and discuss the constitution of her turd? Because that is the firmest turd I have ever heard of. She reached in and grabbed it with her hand. That thing, it must have been like a candy bar.
Powerful. Strong.
How is it possible? How is that possible?
I don't know.
She is eating her fiber or something. She is dropping solid bricks.
You gotta eat your fiber.
She picked this thing up and then decided to chuck it out a window. I just times out.
So
she chucked it out the window.
Mm-hmm.
If this plan has succeeded,
right,
and she had then chucked a turd out the window,
right,
and then I assume hopefully washed her hands after that.
Mm-hmm.
She then would have gone back, and I'm going to dare say hooked up with this dude with dirty turd hands. She would have been rubbing her dirty turd hands all over this man, like, oh, baby, you're so hot. Rub, rub, rub. And he would have had dirty turd on him. She would have then known that she was boning down with the guy who has dirty turd all over his body.
And really, come on.
I'm just saying, it don't make a lot of sense.
Come on.
That this plan is not well thought out.
You would have washed your hands, I imagine.
Uh-huh. Still doesn't make it any less weird.
I mean, obviously.
So, all right. So she then proceeds to try and get the turd back because she threw it into a pane of glass, which at that point I would have not, like, I don't think, this is just me as a man.
Right.
And this might say a lot about me. Maybe it means I'm sexist. I don't know.
Right.
I don't ever think that if I was in a house with the date I was with, plus I'm going to assume my roomies.
Yeah.
If I went to the bathroom and saw a turd on the window, I would never in a million years think a woman in general threw that. That's clearly a guy thing. Only a guy would take a turd and rub it on a window because that's gross. And men are gross. And I feel like
in like 5th grade, one of the 8th grade people like did that, and the rest are like, who put in the men's room on the stall? Someone rubbed their feces on that, and everyone was like, oh no, I didn't do it. And then the one like 8th grade boy was like, hey.
That's what I'm saying. Guys are gross. Yeah. And so I can imagine a group of guys living together. Someone would be like, hey, I threw my poop at the window. I was drunk. And everyone would be like, oh, Steve-O,
I'll teach you
you're
to
so
drink
gross.
my last beer.
Absolutely. Right?
Yeah.
She could have got away with it. At that point, she just left it. Was like, I'm not touching it. Because it's so crazy at that point. I firmly believe no man in his right mind would ever think his date had done that.
Yeah.
Clearly, he would have blamed it on anyone else in the house, but not her, because that's crazy shit.
Yeah.
And I think that she should have just walked away at that point. But no, she being such a good, I'm going to say good person, I feel like she knew that she was in the wrong, decided I have to take this into my own hands and get that turd back.
Wait, okay. So he said the woman went to the toilet. When she came back, she had a panicked look in her eye and told him what she had done. He said the toilet window opened into a narrow gap separated by another double glazed window. It was into this twilight zone that my date had thrown her poo, he said. He went to find a hammer to smash the window, but she decided to climb in headfirst after the offending package and became jammed. I was starting to grow concerned, so I called the fire brigade, and once they had composed themselves, they set to work removing her from the window. Oh, yeah, I guess they did eat at Nando's.
Of course they ate at Nando's. Of course they ate at Nando's. This is a solid post-Nando story. There is no story that starts with Nando's that doesn't end with you crawling through a window to get some poo. That is how every Nando's story ends, hands down.
Then he said, although the woman rescued was unharmed, the bathroom window is destroyed. I'm not complaining. They did what they had to do. Problem is, I've been quoted north of 300 pounds to replace the window, and as a postgraduate student, that's a significant chunk of my monthly budget. Mr. Smith originally set a crowdfunding target of 200 pounds, but has already raised more than 1,200. He said he and his date had decided to split the extra cash between two charities, one supporting firefighters, another that builds and maintains flushing toilets in developing countries. Unsurprisingly.
Apparently they've got another date.
Hot diggity.
Yeah, I guess. I think what he was quoted as saying is like, it can't, all the weird stuff's gotten out of the way now.
Yeah.
So at least we know it, like that kind of stuff. Here's the thing. I kind of agree.
Yeah.
I kind of agree. At that point, you know everything you need to know about the other person.
It's
and
true.
if they are willing to come back and hang out with you again after that mess, that's real love right there. That's real love.
And they're committed.
Yeah.
They were committed to getting that.
If I ever felt so in love with the person that them throwing poop out my window did not faze me, I would know that's the one. I'd be like, you know what? I'm going to marry this girl. I would know.
Right away. Right away.
Hands down. I would know right away. All right. Well, I guess that's it for us. Thank you so much for listening. We will see you next time. Please leave a comment or a suggestion or a like on this video on this podcast on SoundCloud or on iTunes or wherever. We would love to hear from you. Let us know.
Or on YouTube. Thumbs
or
up.
on the YouTube. Yes, that's true.
Cox and Crendor podcast is the thing. Cox and Crendor is the animated one. Cox and Crendor podcast is the YouTube one.
So please, by all means, follow us on all the different things. And we will see you next time. Thank you. And as always,
Bye.
to be continued.